OA. My name is Lionel Garcia, and I'm your Vice President of Sales and Agent Development. And today is Monday. And like I do every single Monday where I'm in town, I get to host my very favorite segment of the week is Motivation Monday. So welcome to Motivation Monday. And here's the thing. Today, we're going to talk about a very topic that really doesn't get a lot of attention, but I think it should. And it really came up a few weeks ago. One of our agents reached out to me and shared a really raw and honest email about their feelings and how they're currently feeling incredibly exhausted. And crazy enough, it was even after a very successful year, even ending the year with 16 bookings, all made in December, really like kind of the second half of December. And I know that many of you may be feeling this way or can't relate. And so our topic this week is going to be overcoming burnout. And so we'll go and jump into overcoming burnout. What is burnout? How does it happen? And what are some strategies on how we can overcome burnout? And then what I'll be able to do for some of our agents and what we'll be able to do here at OA for some of our agents that are currently going through this as well. But before we jump in, let's spend some time sharing our wins of the week. And this is why I love Motivation Monday, is that you get to tell me what are your wins, be them personal, be them professional. And so I know there's a few of you watching now. If you're watching the replay, hey, share your wins in the comments. It's always fun to see and read what you count or are looking at as a win. So this week I have professional wins, and I also have personal wins. So while I wait for yours to come in and your comments to come in, I'll share with you my professional win is the fact that last week, we launched and opened the invitations for conference. And this is our 2026 conference. And so far, we have 372 of you already registered to attend our conference in Orlando next year, and we're super excited to have you coming and join us. So that's my professional win. On the personal side, hey, it was my birthday on Saturday, and I got to celebrate it by going over to Orlando and spending time. I visited my dad. I got a chance to see one of my sisters, her husband, my two nephews. And then the best part of the weekend was actually seeing Grant, my son, compete in parkour. And that was really awesome. So if you follow me on Facebook, I shared a video of him performing in Orlando in his freestyle run that he actually earned first place. And we were all ecstatic for him because he had to create the run all by himself. And this is actually his first time ever competing in parkour. So that was really awesome. All right, I know a few of you have now recently joined. This is the part of Motivation Monday where we share our wins of the week. I just shared with you mine. I would love to know what are your wins of the week, whatever they may be it personal or professional. Go ahead and type them in the chat box. Maybe I could highlight some of them here. So let's jump into our topic of overcoming burnout. And first off, we have to acknowledge that burnout is real. Burnout happens when you push real hard. And this is when you push real hard and you don't give yourself enough chance to pause. In travel, we get to celebrate a lot of big wins, like the example that the agent who brought this up to me a few weeks ago, he had 16 bookings leading up to the last 2 weeks of the year, putting him over his annual goal, helping him achieve his target. But behind the scenes, the pressure is really taking the toll. And so I wonder, have you ever felt like this? Have you ever felt like withdrawing? Have you ever felt like you're losing your spark? Well, the truth is, and that's what I'm here to talk about, is that you're not alone. There's a lot of you out there that feel this way, not only in this industry, but in other industries. And so this is something to keep in mind. I did see some comments here. Oh, I love this. Here's a win. April, congratulations. You did get your first client. I love that. And Scott, happy Monday to you too, sir. So let's jump into, why does burnout happen? Well, burnout happens, it comes from being constantly hustling and not giving yourself enough time to recover. That's one reason why burnout happens. Another reason why burnout happens is the emotional toll from client expectations, right? Trying to make sure that your client's happy, trying to make sure that even that hardest customer, the customer that you wish you didn't have, is happy and satisfied. The fact that sometimes boundaries are difficult to come by, having a boundary between your work life and your personal life, and especially in our roles as travel professionals, many of us get to work from home and do it all on a cell phone and a laptop, and it becomes really challenging since we don't come into an office every day to truly have that line of the delineation of what is something that it should be work or what is something that's personal, and how you can separate the two. So that's another thing that causes burnout. The other one is the pressure to always perform. And I think this one's really interesting because most of us, I think, and I could argue, are type A personalities, right? We really are on when we're in front of a camera like I am right now, or you pick up the phone and you're talking to somebody, you are right on. It's like a switch goes on and you're ready to go, and it is a performance. And I think that sometimes that pressure of always performing can also take a toll on us, can help us sadly lose that spark or really get us to that point of burnout. So now that we've talked about acknowledging the reality, we've talked about what causes burnout, let's jump in and talk about some strategies to overcome burnout. And so I would like to share with you that here's a few tips. None of these are going to be new to you, but sometimes it's nice to just hear it. And I want to share with you that here's how you can fight back and protect your passion, right? Because so many of us got into this business because we're passionate about travel. We're passionate to connect people with other people, connect people with themselves, and allow them to see the world. And we all agree that more than ever, this world is pretty jacked up. We need travel. They need travel. People need to experience places. So let's connect you. Let's plug you back into your passion. And here are some strategies. The first of which is that you want to set boundaries. You want to define your work hours. And here's the important part. It's not just knowing your work hours, it's sticking to your work hours. Oh my goodness. Somebody needs to hear that again. Stick to your work hours. This is going to really help you fight back and create that balance between work and life. Is stick to your work hours, and don't always be making exceptions. Work on sticking to your work hours. Another one is to schedule recovery, take breaks, even short ones. You know, when I worked at Royal Caribbean, one of the things that I admired a lot was seeing that our CEO, Richard Fain, or the president of the company, Michael Bailey, would actually take their lunch break out of the office and go for a walk. And they would walk around the parking lot and just take laps. And you could see them from my little cubby, I could see out the window, and they were walking. So what are you doing to take a break, even if it's just a short one, to recharge? Number 3 is to overcome burnout is you want to reconnect with your why. And I think it's so important. One of the things I love doing at Kickstart, or having a conversation at Kickstart with our new agents, is to talk about what is their why. Why did they get into this business? What more is it than just I'm passionate about travel, right? So why did you get into this business? And maybe I forget the term it's called, but a bubble diagram, if you will, and you're going to write the word why in the middle. You're going to circle it and then draw these lines extending from the word why as to why you got into this business. Why do you love this business? Why do you love creating joy through travel? What excites you? What is keeping you in it? And so that is a very important reason, an important way to fight back against burnout, is to remember yourself of the why. Number 4, delegate and automate. Oh my goodness. So can you automate some tools in your CRM? Can you hire a virtual assistant? Can you add an assistant, or maybe look to add a sub agent to help you delegate and automate some of the things that you're using? So maximize the tools that you have to support a system that can lighten your load. You don't need to carry everything. You don't need to be it the same to everybody. So what can you do to delegate and automate? And then lastly, hey, it's what we're doing right now. Let's talk about it, right? Share your feelings. Share your feelings with peers. Share your feelings inside of the community. Find a safe space, because the truth is, this community, us right here, the people that get to do this job for a living, is powerful. So sharing it and knowing that you're not alone can be super, super powerful to help you with that strategies to overcome the burnout. All right, there's another comment that just came in here. Oh, Kimmy, happy Monday. Thank you, Kimmy. Thanks for joining. All right, so now let's jump into another segment of our Motivation Monday, and that is our motivation moment. And it's really simple. My motivation moment is to remind you that burnout doesn't mean that you're failing. It really doesn't. It means that you've been giving it your all. So the solution is not to quit. It's resetting. So start over, find an opportunity to recover. Your motivation is to realize that you're not, just because you have burnout, doesn't mean that you're failing. It means that you are giving it your all. And here's the thing, the solution is to hit the reset button, is to get some rest, is to find community, talk about it. It's to delegate and automate. It's to reconnect with your why. It's to find time to schedule your recovery and not forget to set some boundaries. So let's jump into some action steps. Action step number 1 is that I want you to register for our agent roundtable discussion. But if you're watching this and you're not an OA agent, I understand that you would love to join, but this segment, this issue that we're going to do, this virtual session that we're going to have with other agents, is going to be a roundtable discussion, and we're going to have a conversation on how to beat burnout together. It's going to take place on February 25th at 6 p.m. and will be in the comments in our OA neighborhood group. And it will also be in MagTab. So sorry if you're not an OA agent, but this will be an OA agent only presentation. Now, if you're not an OA agent, no problem. Here's the other way. The other action step you could do is take one step to protect your energy. So what is that one step that you're going to take to protect your energy? Is it going to be to schedule recovery time? Is it going to be to follow through on your work hours? Is it going to be to talk about it? Is it going to be to delegate and automate? How are you going to go ahead and take that one step to protect your energy? We'd love to know what it is that you're going to do. Share it in the comments. Share what you're committing to do to tackle burnout and making it go away. And lastly, let's talk about our quote of the day. This segment, I always love our quotes. And so this week, we have a pretty good quote from Albert Schweitzer. Success is not the key to happiness. Happiness is the key to success. So if you love what you are doing, you will be successful. So I want to remind you that, because here's the thing. Sometimes, especially toward the end of the year or at the beginning of the year, when we start seeing all the awards and accolades that our peers or contemporaries are winning or being recognized with, we sometimes start questioning, what is success to us? Did we achieve success? Did we make it? And here's the thing. If you're happy, you're finding happiness and joy in what you're doing, then you are finding success. So it's so important to sit down and understand, what does success look like to you, and what are you doing to achieve that level of success? So I just want to say thank you so much for joining me this week. And so until next Monday, I want you to take care of you, and see you again next Monday. Bye.